Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great start of the week so far. And welcome, of course, to your daily update on Bitcoin, which I don't think we actually reached new all-time highs. We were very, very close, but the all-time high as it stands right now is 69,000. A little bit, yeah, like really 69,000. And the price we got to is 68,800. All right, so we've got very close, and I also do still expect new all-time highs. Eventually, if it's today or not, we'll talk about that. In general, the markets right now are still crazy. All right, the funding rates across the board are the highest they've been since basically the start of this bullish momentum. As you can see, all of the altcoins are over leveraged and highly funded, which I've almost gotten used to this right now, but this is going to lead to some sort of a big flush at some point of time, pretty soon, I would say, because right now, if you look at the prices you have to pay to hold positions open, it's ridiculous, like 0.18% per funding round on Dogecoin, or 0.5% per funding round on Bonk, on Bybit. Those are some ridiculous numbers, all right? So that's not sustainable. But then if we look at Bitcoin has really not bothered too much with it. And at this moment, if we purely look at the technicals, which of course that's way too much of a simplistic view to look at cryptos. But if we look at if we purely look at the technicals, it looks bullish. And what we just did is we broke above 66,000. We found support there, so and it looks pretty convincing at the moment. So what to expect is that we'll continue this market structure, which would include a breakout above 69,000, and then we have to come up with new resistance levels. Then we're in price discovery. So I would say basically anything is possible. I would say 70,000 is also still quite strong. So the ultimate level we would have to break to really get to new all-time highs, I would say, is more around 70 and 69,000. And not all-time highs, but to really get into price discovery, because I think the first real level in price discovery would be 75,000. So we would have to break above 70,000 instead of just the previous all-time high, I would say. But purely technically, that looks most likely. And if we then look at some other numbers, which obviously that's what we do in these videos, we look at all the numbers we can get. If you look at those numbers, it's still bullish as well. Here you can see the open interest in USD. That's still going up. In total contracts, it's also still going up. This looks good, all right? We had a bit of a decrease overnight when we got close to the previous all-time high, but the way it's recovering right now and the way it bounces, especially with those spot buys, I would say we're doing pretty good. If you look at the futures, though, you can see a bit of a sell-off in futures. That's usually good, because that would mean that the funding rate would reset a little bit. So I'm not sure if we can actually see that. I mean, you can see the funding rate for Bitcoin is at, well, not an all-time high, but the highest it's been in the last year, I think. So the situation is pretty dire still. I would say if you take a look at the momentum, and if you take a look at the technicals, and then if you hold the fundamentals in mind, and the fundamentals right now is that every single day we get a cash injection from the Bitcoin ETFs, which is very bullish. And then apart from that, obviously we have the halving still coming up at the start of April. Now sometimes you get some sort of a sell the news effect from that, but I would say right now is too early, because usually that sell the news effect comes a bit earlier. But given everything, I would say it's still most likely we'll get up to 69 and 70,000. And if we're able to break above that, I think 74, 75,000 is also the most realistic scenario. Now, ultimately, if you want to be careful, which you should be, what I would wait for is one of those two levels to break. So our main support level is 65,000. If for whatever reason we're going to get a big drop, which will happen at some point of time soon, because of those funding rates. If that happens and Bitcoin closes below 65,000, then we're probably in for a pullback down to 62, 60 perhaps. But even if that happens, I still think that we would recover and break out later. So in the end, very bullish on Bitcoin still. That's the situation in short. But those are my thoughts on it now. If you do have any questions, of course, let me know down in the comments. But for now, have a great rest of your week. Take care and bye.